Hey everyone, welcome back. Ever heard the saying, a lion doesn't turn around when a small dog barks? Imagine possessing such profound power that those who once ignored you now crave your attention. What if I told you the secret isn't in confrontation or noise, but in mastering the art of silence and calculated restraint? In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, real power emerges from within through silence, self-control, and the strategic art of silent domination. We've all been there, when someone drifts away and you're left wondering why. It's easy to slip into the trap of chasing, over-explaining, or trying to remind them of your value. But here's the truth. Every time you chase, you give up a little piece of your power. And instead of drawing them closer, you push them farther away. So what's the real solution? It lies in a timeless principle that merges dark psychology with the wisdom of Stoicism, mastery through absence, not presence. When you withdraw, you stop being predictable and instead become an intriguing mystery they can't quite solve. Your absence becomes like an irresistible force that calls them back, not through desperation, but through strategy. It's not manipulation, it's self-respect, and it makes them realize the mistake they made in walking away. Picture this. You're standing in a vast, quiet forest. The air is thick with anticipation. Then, in the stillness, a predator's presence sends chills down your spine. That's the essence of silent domination. Power that doesn't need to announce itself. It's the kind of strength that stops people in their tracks and forces them to reconsider their choices. Psychology tells us that we value what is rare, mysterious, and just beyond reach. When you step back, you trigger an instinctual fear of loss, one that pulls people back toward you. This fear isn't just emotional, it's biological. The same psychological triggers that make limited edition items irresistible also make your absence a powerful tool. The less accessible you are, the more desirable you become. Chasing destroys attraction. Think about it. You can't catch a butterfly by chasing it. The harder you pursue, the more it flutters away. In relationships, chasing communicates desperation. I need you more than you need me. It's a dynamic that shifts all the power away from you, leaving you scrambling for validation. Stoicism teaches us a profound truth. Control what you can and accept what you can't. You can't force someone to recognize your value, but you can amplify it by stepping into your own power. Instead of closing the distance, embrace it. Instead of chasing, become someone they regret losing. Silence in this context isn't simply the absence of sound, it's the presence of mastery. Think of yourself like a fire. When you burn too brightly, people crowd around, but if you burn too hot, they back off. Now, imagine turning that flame down, not extinguishing it, but letting it flicker just out of reach. Suddenly, they feel the cold. Suddenly, they crave the warmth they once took for granted. This is the essence of silent domination. By pulling back, you're not denying them your presence, you're making them crave it. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." This isn't about ignoring their actions, it's about mastering your own responses. When someone pulls away, the knee-jerk reaction is to panic, overanalyze, or try harder to win them back. But true power lies in resisting these urges and choosing calm detachment instead. Detachment isn't indifference, it's control. It's realizing that your worth isn't determined by someone else's attention. When you stop reacting emotionally and start responding strategically, the dynamic shifts entirely. No longer are you the one scrambling for validation. You become the one whose absence stings like an unspoken truth. In the game of power and attraction, silence is far from empty, it's charged. It creates a void, and as we know, nature abhors a vacuum. When you stop reaching out, they start reaching in. They begin to wonder, Why haven't I heard from them? They replay your last interaction, second-guess their choices, and start to regret letting you go. This mental loop becomes their obsession, and your absence becomes the loudest presence in their life. Think of silence as a blank canvas. When it's empty, it forces them to project their thoughts, feelings, and insecurities onto it. And here's the secret. The less you do, the more they think about you. It's not manipulation, it's allowing them to confront the void you've left behind. But to wield this power, you must first master yourself. Silence without self-control is hollow. Emotional detachment doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, it means refusing to let them control you. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Bravery, in this case, is about letting go of what no longer serves you. When you cultivate emotional independence, you send a clear message: I am complete on my own. This unshakable confidence is magnetic. It makes people question their decisions and realize the gravity of what they've lost. Silent domination isn't about playing games. It's about playing the long game. The most powerful move is often the one you don't make. By stepping back, you're not just creating space. You're creating scarcity, and scarcity breeds value. So, if you've ever wondered how to make someone crawl back, the answer isn't in louder gestures or desperate pleas. It's in embracing your power, mastering Stoic silence, and letting them feel the weight of your absence. Done right, they'll come back. Not because you forced it, but because they realize they can't live without it, ready to transform your life. Affirmations are like sparks that ignite your inner power. Claim yours. Today, I radiate silent confidence. Write this affirmation in the comments to declare your strength and begin your transformation. If this resonated with you, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Your support drives us to bring you more transformative content. Together, we're creating something extraordinary. Number 1. Strategic withdrawal, the art of controlled absence. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a battlefield. Your opponent is charging toward you, full of confidence, expecting you to react immediately. But instead of rushing in, you pull back, retreating with calm precision. In that split second, the momentum shifts. The opponent hesitates, unsure of your next move, and in their moment of uncertainty, you gain the upper hand. This is the power of strategic withdrawal, the art of stepping back not in defeat, but in calculated mastery. In life and relationships, many underestimate the impact of absence. When someone withdraws or takes you for granted, the natural instinct is to fight harder for their attention, send more messages, make grand gestures, or overextend yourself. But paradoxically, these actions often push them further away, reinforcing their indifference. True power isn't in the chase, it's in the purposeful retreat. When you withdraw with intention, you create an invisible force that makes others stop and question their choices. Your absence forces them to confront the void you've left behind, and that's when your value becomes undeniable. Think of strategic withdrawal as a chess game. By stepping back, you don't just avoid a confrontation, you force your opponent into a position where they must rethink their strategy. It's not about ghosting or playing games. It's about asserting your own worth by choosing when and how you engage. The moment you stop chasing, you stop being predictable. Your presence becomes rare, precious, and even magnetic. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "He who is free is not he who possesses, but he who needs nothing." By stepping away, you communicate that you are complete in yourself, needing no one to validate your worth. This stoic composure, this quiet strength, is exactly what makes them reconsider. Picture yourself as a beacon in the distance. As someone drifts further away, they can no longer feel the warmth of your light. and in that cold, they realize how much they miss it. But like a lighthouse, you don't chase after them. You remain steadfast, letting them come back to you on their own. Psychologically speaking, scarcity is one of the most powerful drivers of human behavior. People crave what they can't easily have, and when you make yourself less available, you spark their curiosity and trigger a fear of loss. This is the magic of controlled absence. It's not just a physical void, it's a deliberate act of creating space for others to reflect on what they've lost. Absence, in this context, becomes a loud, unspoken message of your value. Imagine an artist creating a masterpiece. The most striking works often use negative space, the areas that aren't painted, to enhance the beauty of what is present. Your absence is the canvas that highlights your presence. It forces them to fill in the gaps, to wonder about your thoughts, your actions, your life. And in doing so, they begin to see the immense value they overlooked. But let's be clear, strategic withdrawal is not about playing petty games or acting distant for the sake of manipulation. It's about respecting yourself enough to walk away when your value isn't being recognized. It's about making a statement without saying a word. I am worth more than this. This type of self-respect is magnetic. The very absence you create pulls them back, making them realize that they've underestimated you. Mastering the art of strategic withdrawal transforms not only how others see you, but how you see yourself. You stop measuring your worth based on someone else's attention or approval. As you grow stronger, so does your magnetic pull. They'll start to wonder, what's different? Why isn't this person reacting the way they used to? And that's when they'll begin to come back, drawn not by your pursuit, but by your silence. So, if you're ready to step into your power and reclaim control, let this affirmation guide you. My silence speaks louder than words. Write this in the comments below as a declaration of your commitment to mastering the art of strategic withdrawal. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more life-changing insights. Together, we'll unlock your potential and build the life you deserve. Remember, your silence isn't just a void, it's your strength. Use it wisely. Number 2. Harnessing the law of contrast. Why do diamonds sparkle most brightly when set against a dark backdrop? This simple yet profound observation reveals a powerful truth. Contrast shapes how we perceive value. Without contrast, nothing stands out, and everything becomes mundane. In relationships and influence, the law of contrast works in much the same way. To make someone see the depth of your value, you must first let them experience the void without you. Your absence isn't just a gap. It's a strategically crafted space that amplifies your presence in ways words never could. Think about the first time you savor a perfectly brewed cup of coffee. The first sip is bliss, but with each subsequent taste, the magic begins to fade. Now imagine saving the last sip for later, allowing anticipation to build. When you finally take that last sip, it's infinitely more satisfying. This is the essence of contrast. If you're always available, always giving, your value becomes predictable, almost taken for granted. But when you step back, you create a void that makes them feel the absence of your presence. That absence makes them crave you. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By pulling back, you're not just allowing them to miss you, you're giving them space to think about you. In your silence, they replay memories, analyze past moments, and begin to truly appreciate what they once had. You don't just step away physically, you embed yourself in their thoughts, leaving a permanent impression that's far more powerful than any message you could send. Picture the brilliance of a sunset. Its beauty doesn't lie in the constant presence of light, but in the contrast between day and night. The shift from light to dark is what makes it extraordinary. This is the magic of the law of contrast. By withdrawing, you create that shift. You don't just disappear, you make them realize the light you once brought into their life. It's not manipulation, it's the brilliance of knowing when to step back to make your return more impactful. To master this principle, emotional control is key. It's tempting to reach out, to try and bridge the distance, but that would rob them of the opportunity to experience the discomfort of your absence. Discomfort is your ally here. It's in those moments of emptiness that they realize what they took for granted. Your silence becomes a canvas for their regrets, their longing, and their growing desire to reconnect. Think of yourself as a song that once played constantly in the background of their life. Over time, they became used to the melody, until suddenly it stops. The silence feels like a shock, and with it, the memory of your music grows louder. That's the power of contrast. It transforms the ordinary into something extraordinary by removing it, leaving them yearning for the song they can no longer hear. The key to mastering contrast is understanding that withdrawal isn't about anger or punishment. It's about creating space for them to recognize the immense value you bring to their life. When you pair your absence with personal growth, becoming stronger, more magnetic, you create an even greater impact. They won't just miss who you were, they'll crave the evolved version of you. Contrast isn't just about absence, it's about enhancing your own power. The law of contrast is a lesson in human psychology. People only notice the stars when the sky is darkest. When you grasp this truth, you gain the power to shift dynamics not through force, but through deliberate restraint. Stepping back allows them to step forward, and when they do, they'll realize what they truly lost. So, the next time you feel the urge to chase, remember, the silence you create today will speak volumes tomorrow. Let them feel the void, the contrast, the absence in their moments of doubt. They'll see your value more clearly than ever before. And when they come back, it won't be because you begged. It will be because they realize they can't live without you. Write this in the comments. I am the light they only see after the darkness. Own it, say it, and let it remind you of your power. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're dedicated to helping you master your emotions, relationships, and life. Stay tuned for more transformative content. Number 3. Master the subtle art of mystery. Have you ever noticed how the most captivating figures in stories or real life are often the ones who remain just a little elusive? It's not the things they say that draw us in, but the things they don't say, the mysteries they leave unsolved. This same principle works in relationships too. If you want to master the quiet power of attraction and make someone yearn for you, you must become a mystery they can't resist uncovering. But don't confuse mystery with deceit. It's not about hiding your true self. It's about revealing just enough to ignite curiosity while holding back enough to keep them wondering. Imagine walking through an art gallery where every piece is displayed openly, but there's one painting draped in velvet with a sign reading, "Do not touch." Suddenly, that painting becomes the most intriguing of all. You can't help but wonder what's behind the cloth, what hidden masterpiece lies underneath. This is the irresistible allure of mystery. The unknown pulls us in, making us obsess over what we can't see. When you embrace the art of mystery, you transform into a living enigma. You don't need to be evasive or secretive, just deliberately selective in what you share and how much. Curiosity thrives in the gaps. If you're always too open, too available, you rob others of the chance to wonder about you. Mystery invites exploration, and when you're a little harder to figure out, you spark their imagination. They start to fill in the blanks themselves, making you even more desirable in their eyes. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Silence is a form of great strength." Apply this to your interactions, and it doesn't mean you shut down communication, but that you gain control over how much of yourself you reveal. You don't need to disclose everything about your thoughts, plans, or emotions. Instead, withhold just enough to keep them engaged. Share highlights, not all the details. The subtle withholding of information makes them think, "What else is there?" and draws them deeper into the mystery. Think of your life as an unfolding story. If you tell it all at once, there's no reason to keep reading. But when you give hints, glimpses into new projects, exciting experiences, or unexplored ideas, you keep them hooked, always wondering what comes next. The key to mystery isn't about disappearing, but about leaving things unsaid, allowing others to paint their own picture of you. In today's world, where everyone is constantly updating their lives on social media, the power of restraint becomes even more potent. When you post selectively, share just a piece of your life without offering the whole narrative, you spark intrigue. A cryptic caption, a fleeting moment captured in a photo, these subtle clues are enough to make them wonder where you are, who you're with, or what you're doing. Without saying a word, you captivate their attention. Mystery also speaks volumes on an emotional level. It signals confidence and emotional independence. When you don't feel the need to justify your every move or seek validation, you project an aura of self-assurance. This is magnetic because it shows you value your own journey, and your worth isn't dependent on anyone else's approval. This kind of self-sufficiency makes others want to unravel the layers of who you are, not because you ask them to, but because they're drawn to your strength. Think of yourself as the moon. Its beauty is undeniable, but what people are most fascinated by is the side they can't see. The allure of the unknown keeps them coming back, night after night, trying to catch a glimpse of its full brilliance. By mastering the art of mystery, you become that constant magnetic presence, the moon they can never fully reach, but are always eager to watch. The beauty of mystery is that it gives you the power to attract without needing to try. It's not about playing games or manipulating others. It's about becoming someone whose presence is so magnetic, so intriguing, that people are naturally drawn to you. When they realize they don't know everything about you, they begin to crave the parts of you they can't access, and in doing so, they come back. Not because they have to, but because they want to. So, as you step into your own mystery, remember this affirmation: I am the mystery they can't solve. Write it in the comments below to declare your new mindset. Let others chase the depth and complexity you bring, not because you're playing games, but because you've become someone they can't help but admire. If this lesson resonated with you, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're dedicated to empowering you with insights that help you reclaim your power and transform your relationships. Stay tuned for more lessons that will continue to build your confidence and help you master the subtle art of mystery. Number 4. Elevate through self-reinvention. What if the person they think they walked away from no longer exists? What if, in the time they've been gone, you've undergone a complete transformation, evolving into someone so magnetic, so untouchable, that they don't just miss you, they desperately long to know the new version of you? This idea isn't just about the surface-level changes that come with achieving goals. It's about the profound personal growth that happens within, the kind of growth that makes you unrecognizable, even to yourself. As Zig Ziglar once said, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Self-reinvention isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about stepping into your highest potential. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs to chase, because you've become the very thing others can't help but chase. Silent domination starts here, by evolving into someone who demands respect and admiration, simply by being your authentic, elevated self. Think of the majestic phoenix rising from its ashes, glowing with renewed strength and beauty. This is the heart of reinvention. It's not just about surviving a loss or setback, it's about using it as fuel to become someone even greater. When someone leaves or overlooks you, don't mourn their absence. Use it as the perfect backdrop for your rebirth. The most powerful response to being dismissed is to become someone so incredible, so unrecognizably evolved, that they can't help but feel the sting of regret. Reinvention doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not. It means stripping away the old, limited versions of yourself and becoming the best, most fulfilled version of you. Think about the dreams you've put on hold. Starting that business, learning a new skill, improving your health. Now is the time to pour energy into those passions, not to impress anyone else, but to impress yourself. True transformation happens when you stop dreaming about who you could be and begin creating the version of yourself you've always imagined. James Anthony Froude captures this perfectly. You cannot dream yourself into a character. You must hammer and forge yourself into one. Just like the caterpillar transforming in its cocoon, your reinvention will happen in silence. The world may not notice your changes immediately, but when you emerge, you'll shine in ways they never expected. Your growth will speak louder than anything you could say. You'll have become a living testament to the power of transformation. But this isn't about being desirable for their sake. It's about becoming undeniable, not just to them, but to yourself. Every decision you make to improve your mind, body, or spirit is a step toward reclaiming your power. If they took you for granted before, they won't even recognize you when they see the new, elevated version of you. Work on your fitness, not to meet someone else's expectations, but because you want to feel strong and capable. Learn new skills, not to impress them, but because you want to enrich your own life. As you grow, your confidence becomes an unstoppable force, naturally drawing others toward you. Self-reinvention is about internal shifts as much as external ones. It's about mastering your own mind, controlling your reactions, and becoming unshakable in your sense of self-worth. When you become this grounded, this focused, you no longer need to chase anything, people, attention, or approval. You simply are. Think about the sun. It doesn't chase the planets, but its gravity keeps everything in orbit. That's what reinvention does for you. It makes you the force that others are naturally drawn to, simply by the strength of your presence. Now picture running into them after months of silence. They look at you, and their jaw drops. It's not just your physical appearance that's changed. It's the aura you radiate, the confidence in your posture, the unshakable calm in your eyes. They'll feel the shift, and they won't be able to stop themselves from asking, "Who is this person? How did they grow so much without me?" This moment will make them question everything they thought they knew about you. And that, my friend, is the magic of reinvention. You're not just transforming yourself for the sake of getting someone back. You're redefining yourself for your own personal growth, and the world will take notice. If they do come back, they'll be met with a version of you they could never have imagined, a version of you they wish they'd never walked away from. Self-reinvention isn't about revenge. It's about claiming your life on your terms without relying on anyone else's validation. It's the ultimate power, and it's magnetic. As you rise, you'll become someone who doesn't need anyone to complete them because you've already completed yourself. Even if they don't come crawling back, you'll have built a life so rich and fulfilling that their absence becomes irrelevant. I am evolving into someone they will regret losing. Write that in the comments as your personal declaration of transformation. If this message resonated with you and you're ready to take your life to the next level, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're here to bring you more powerful lessons to help you reclaim your power, elevate yourself, and build the unstoppable version of you. Together, we'll rise. Number 4. Elevate through self-reinvention. What if the person they think they walked away from no longer exists? What if, in the time they've been gone, you've undergone a complete transformation, evolving into someone so magnetic, so untouchable, that they don't just miss you, they desperately long to know the new version of you? This idea isn't just about the surface-level changes that come with achieving goals. It's about the profound personal growth that happens within, the kind of growth that makes you unrecognizable, even to yourself. As Zig Ziglar once said, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Self-reinvention isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about stepping into your highest potential. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs to chase because you've become the very thing others can't help but chase. Silent domination starts here, by evolving into someone who demands respect and admiration, simply by being your authentic, elevated self. Think of the majestic phoenix, rising from its ashes, glowing with renewed strength and beauty. This is the heart of reinvention. It's not just about surviving a loss or setback. It's about using it as fuel to become someone even greater. When someone leaves or overlooks you, don't mourn their absence. Use it as the perfect backdrop for your rebirth. The most powerful response to being dismissed is to become someone so incredible, so unrecognizably evolved, that they can't help but feel the sting of regret. Reinvention doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not. It means stripping away the old, limited versions of yourself and becoming the best, most fulfilled version of you. Think about the dreams you've put on hold. Starting that business, learning a new skill, improving your health. Now is the time to pour energy into those passions. Not to impress anyone else, but to impress yourself. True transformation happens when you stop dreaming about who you could be and begin creating the version of yourself you've always imagined. James Anthony Froude captures this perfectly. You cannot dream yourself into a character. You must hammer and forge yourself into one. Just like the caterpillar transforming in its cocoon, your reinvention will happen in silence. The world may not notice your changes immediately, but when you emerge, you'll shine in ways they never expected. Your growth will speak louder than anything you could say. You'll have become a living testament to the power of transformation. But this isn't about being desirable for their sake. It's about becoming undeniable, not just to them, but to yourself. Every decision you make to improve your mind, body, or spirit is a step toward reclaiming your power. If they took you for granted before, they won't even recognize you when they see the new, elevated version of you. Work on your fitness, not to meet someone else's expectations, but because you want to feel strong and capable. Learn new skills, not to impress them, but because you want to enrich your own life. As you grow, your confidence becomes an unstoppable force, naturally drawing others toward you. Self-reinvention is about internal shifts as much as external ones. It's about mastering your own mind, controlling your reactions, and becoming unshakable in your sense of self-worth. When you become this grounded, this focused, you no longer need to chase anything, people, attention, or approval. You simply are. Think about the sun. It doesn't chase the planets, but its gravity keeps everything in orbit. That's what reinvention does for you. It makes you the force that others are naturally drawn to, simply by the strength of your presence. Now, picture running into them after months of silence. They look at you, and their jaw drops. It's not just your physical appearance that's changed. It's the aura you radiate, the confidence in your posture, the unshakable calm in your eyes. They'll feel the shift, and they won't be able to stop themselves from asking, "Who is this person? How did they grow so much without me?" This moment will make them question everything they thought they knew about you. And that, my friend, is the magic of reinvention. You're not just transforming yourself for the sake of getting someone back. You're redefining yourself for your own personal growth, and the world will take notice. Now, imagine someone who once walked away only to return and find that your world has expanded into something even more captivating. They'll be left wondering, why did I leave? The decoy effect taps into this curiosity. It's not about the chase. It's about creating a life so vibrant that it beckons them to wonder if they've missed out. This isn't about playing games. It's about living fully, independently, and with purpose. When you invest in yourself, whether it's picking up a new hobby, embarking on an adventure, or simply deepening your sense of inner fulfillment, you are building a world that thrives without the need for anyone's validation. The key is in the contrast. By showing them the richness of your life, you make them realize that you're no longer a part of their world that they can easily take for granted. With every step you take toward growth and independence, you send a message. I am enough on my own, and my world is thriving with or without you. Share those moments. The photos of you out with friends, the glimpse of your latest passion project, the subtle updates on your accomplishments. These seemingly small actions create a narrative in their mind where they start to question their absence and wonder if they've overlooked something truly valuable. The decoy effect works by triggering curiosity, admiration, and even a sense of loss. It makes them start to crave the connection they once took for granted. And as they witness the transformation you've undergone, they'll begin to see you in a completely new light. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, so undeniable that your presence becomes a force they can't ignore. Remember, the most powerful signal you can send is that you are whole, independent, and thriving. You have the power to shift perceptions and redefine your worth, not just in their eyes, but in your own. Write this affirmation in the comments. I am thriving, and the world notices my worth. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. We're here to bring you powerful lessons that help you reclaim your energy, your value, and your life. Let's continue to grow together and elevate our lives to new heights. Number 7. Cultivate emotional impenetrability. What if I told you that true strength doesn't lie in how loudly you react, but in how powerfully you remain unmoved, even in the face of chaos? Picture yourself as an ancient oak tree, its roots deeply grounded in the earth, standing tall and unbending, no matter how violently the storm rages around it. This is emotional impenetrability, the ability to remain serene, composed, and untouched by the turbulence of life. It's the secret weapon of silent domination, and once you master it, no external force can disturb your inner peace. As the legendary Viktor Frankl wisely stated, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Emotional impenetrability isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about owning them. It's about building an unshakable fortress within, where external challenges, words or actions can no longer dictate your emotional state. In relationships, this power is a game changer. When someone distances themselves, insults you, or tries to provoke a reaction, your unshakable calm speaks volumes. It conveys that you are in control, immune to manipulation, and a force that cannot be rattled. The person who once had the ability to unsettle you will be left confused by your composure, unable to comprehend how their efforts no longer affect you. Think of this: a boulder resting at the bottom of a tumultuous river. The water crashes against it, pushing with all its might, but the boulder remains firm and unmoved. That is you when you cultivate emotional impenetrability. You become a presence that others can no longer sway, a steady anchor amidst the storm. And this shift in power, it forces them to question everything. Why aren't you reacting? What has changed? Emotional impenetrability doesn't mean you stop caring or become indifferent. It's not about shutting yourself off. It's about choosing how you respond, rising above knee-jerk reactions and opting for calm, calculated composure. It's a quiet form of strength, one that speaks volumes without saying a word. When you embrace this mindset, you stop seeking validation from others. You don't chase after them, nor do you let their distance or harsh words diminish your worth. Your strength lies in your ability to remain grounded and at peace, no matter what's happening around you. Think of yourself as a mirror. When they try to provoke or unsettle you, all they see is their own reflection, and in that moment they realize they can no longer control you. This is not manipulation, it's self-mastery. It's the art of owning your emotions so fully that no one else can disrupt them.